about the impact of artificial intelligence on humans, you're in good company. In fact, some of the scientists who helped create the technology are now calling for a halt in its development until better guardrails are in place. Valerie Pisano is president and CEO of Mila. It is one of the organizations behind an open letter to other users of AI. Thank you for being with us, Valerie.
Thank you.
So the open letter raises some concerns about what might happen now with things like ChatGPT and other of these generative AIs. What are the concerns that you think are most important?
Yeah, I think what's really brought our attention is the fact that these systems are very human-like. It's very hard to distinguish between what's a machine and what is human intelligence in these cases. And in particular, they're being developed at an incredible speed, where it feels like there's a bit of this race of putting out the next version as soon as possible without really taking the time to assess what the risks might be or how people would react or what these systems are creating.
Is it too late? It's these obviously the technology is already in the hands of organizations that are for profit. They have all kinds of motive to kind of develop it as quickly as they can for their own benefit without maybe addressing some of those concerns. Have we left this too late?
Absolutely not. I think we've seen many examples in human history of us getting organized, our political governance getting organized. There's absolutely something that can be done here. We just need to step it up and accelerate that conversation and that agenda so that these guardrails are put in place, which isn't the case right now.
Is that a role for governments to step in and actually try to regulate this, or would that be the death to the creativity behind this kind of technology?
Yeah, we absolutely do think it needs some legislation, like we've done for all kinds of different industries that interact with human beings. We would never accept that we can buy food that hasn't been, tested and verified, or drugs that have been tested and verified. We would never step into a plane where if we didn't feel like it was safe. So these big tech systems that are available online need a certain verification. They need a certain governance if they're going to be interacting with us in a significant way on a daily basis. We've done this before. We can do it again. Part of it is national, part of it is international. We just need a bit of time to get organized.
There is a sense that even those of you who understand and, in fact, helped create this technology have been surprised and amazed at how much further it's gone than we originally thought it could. In other words, the limit really does seem, the potential seems limitless. Are you optimistic or are you worried at this moment about what AI will do for humanity?
Yeah, by and far, we're very optimistic. And I think that was a big energy behind this letter. It's to say there's so much we can capture. There's so many ways AI can help us with our challenges in health, with the climate crisis. And at the same time, what's happening now is dangerous. It's going too fast. It's done in the spirit of competitivity and market share, and we need to slow it down. We need to get organized, really. That's really what it is. That's why the letter was calling for a 6-month pause. Let's see it as a symbol that reflects this idea that we need to stop, we need to sit everyone down and decide how we use this technology for the good of humanity.
Not a lot of time here, but have you had the response to the letter that you would have hoped? Are you hearing from lawmakers, for instance, that they're interested in this and may act?
We are, and if you just read the newspaper every single day since the letter came out, there's someone somewhere. Yesterday was Joe Biden, who was sending a clear message to Congress saying we need to look into this, and I share the concerns that were expressed. So yes, we do think the letter has sent a strong signal, and up to now, governments are stepping up to the plate.
So great to have you with us, Valerie. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Valerie Pisano is president and CEO of Mila. Time for the takeaway and figuring out what works. The pandemic turned a lot of things upside down, but probably none more so or more lastingly than how we work. The eye-opener was that technology and a new way to interact with their jobs and peers meant many could work more flexibly and even from home. What had been the domain of only the most senior staff suddenly became the norm for a lot of people. Work-life balance was more possible. Time spent commuting or on costs associated with working away from home were a distant memory. For a lot of those workers, it's a way of working and living that they aren't prepared to abandon. Unfortunately, some bosses don't seem to agree that it's all good. Maybe it's because they have football fields worth of office space they're paying for and not filling, or maybe it's what they claim, that they worry that workers who are joined only by computer screens won't have the same connection, and that by not connecting, they'll lose creativity or camaraderie or even mentoring. Research certainly backs up the fact that in-person interactions can be more powerful for brainstorming. And we definitely know that working in proximity allows for chance, unplanned interaction to occur that can yield great results. But what if some of those benefits could be mimicked using technology? Maybe not the technology we have, but one we develop. What if old methods of culture building or mentorship could be updated for a new generation of workers? How we work hasn't really been updated in about 100 years. And now workers of all ages have had a taste of how it feels when your job doesn't have to come at the expense of the rest of your life, but can coexist in a way that makes both better. My takeaway? Work from home began as a necessity, but flexible work may be something that's here to stay. A wise employer might try to adapt rather than flipping back to an old script. That's Taking Stock for this week. I'm Amanda Lang. Thanks for being with us.